The opening quarter sees the day.
Hello, welcome to Billy Ho's Sports Big Racing this weekend at Parx Racetrack. We saw Thorpedo Anna try to give the field a chance in the Cotillion, and then, as Parx announcer Jessica Paquette said, seize the day. Got it done in the Penn Derby. So thanks for joining me. Remember, tons of great content coming out. So subscribe to the channel and smash that like button. Share on social media. All that kind of good stuff is great to grow the channel. Got my first top 10 Breeders' Cup Classic contenders list coming out pretty soon. So this is just going to be a recap of the weekend's events. We're going to touch a little bit on Churchill Downs first, where we saw Batten Down leaving no doubt in the Bourbon Flight Stakes as he rolled down the stretch. Just a overwhelming favorite, obviously much the best, won by open links. Hades was second best, and I had a value play of Elephant's Ear to round out the trifecta that paid $18. Pretty chalky, but I mean, you could have wheeled it the way I had it selected on the show, and it would have cost you $2 to make a dollar trifecta bet to pay $18. So that's not too bad. It doesn't always come out that way. But my best bet actually today was the Dogwood. And the Dogwood was the number 5, My Main Squeeze, who actually ended up going off as the post-time favorite, which was disappointing to me. I thought that there was a couple other horses that deserved it, Fibber being one of them. But my Main Squeeze, to me, was the bet to make. She had the best results on the Churchill Downs surface and the distance, even though the track conditions weren't exactly the same. But she did it the same way, stalked the pace that was set by Neom Beach, and Louis Saez powered to home the filly to win by like 5 lengths over Fibber, coming in second to complete that $2 exactly that paid $16, which is, that's pretty good ROI for a couple of chalky winners, really. And then rounding it out, race 11 was another nice winner I had. Undercover, who I thought was going to be, it was like a 7-2 co-favorite, but it ended up going off at the 2-1 odds on favorite. But 2-1's pretty good, paid $6 and change, $7, something like that to win. So it was a nice little run there of those races for me at Churchill, which leads me over to Parx, where I didn't really bet a whole lot on these because there was just such massive chalk. And then some of the scratches took away my other value type plays like Mo Visitor. And then it left Coastal Mission being a value at 7-5 in that race. And of course, horses like Next and Thorpedo Anna winning at 1-9 odds in these stakes races. So, and even Seize the Gray, I think, went off as the favorite or close to the favorite in that Penn Derby. So the Cotillion, it wasn't going to be who wins. It was going to be by how much. We all thought Thorpedo Anna was the dominant filly. Well, she did make it interesting. She broke clean, went to the front, but Brian Hernandez decided not to get sucked into a speed duel with Mystic Lake, who I described in my preview video as distance challenged, but good speed. So I thought that that Mystic Lake would press Thorpedo Anna out front and maybe tire her out. But she tucked inside, saving ground. And I'm sure once they got to the turn for home, fans were biting their nails, to say the least, which I didn't feel worried at all. She was being boxed in by Tarifa, which was a pretty good effort by Flavian Pratt with a quality race for Tarifa, who a horse I wasn't exactly sold on. Tarifa did run third, but the most she did was box in Thorpedo Anna around that turn and keep her in tight as long as she could. And then once Thorpedo Anna got clear, it was going to be a done deal all over. But the shouting, Gunsong, I believe 44-1 was very game, but saw her lead go away. And it did appear like Hernandez was just kind of easing her on bit by bit with little coaxing, just kind of flashing the crop in front of her face just to let her know, hey, you better go ahead and get this done. And so we don't take any chances. Well, she gets by, and then Hernandez still just really not on her too hard. Gunsong made a slight closer bid at the end to make it like a neck, but it really wasn't that close. It was just visually looked close. I think if Thorpedo Anna would have geared down, she probably would have cleared by a length and a half or more. So much was said about her effort in the Travers, which I personally thought the Travers was her best race that she's ran, even though she didn't win. Now, obviously, the Kentucky Oaks was probably technically the best that she had run, but it almost looks like after that effort we saw her in the Travers that she's been winning at less than 100%, like maybe 80, 90%, like 90% in the Kentucky Oaks, but closer in the Cotillion to that 80% mark because she didn't look at her best. She just looked like she did enough to get it done. So we're not getting our hopes up that she's going to run in the Breeders' Cup Classic. I think she's pointed for the distaff, but I think that's more than good enough. She's going to have more than her fair share of competition with the older females like Idiomatic, Adair Manor, Raging Sea, Randomized, all kinds of. It's really, really going to be a loaded distaff field. So on to the Penn Derby. Similar to the Preakness Triumph, Seize the Gray got the lead decently easily, but really the only pressure was 77-1, just step on it. And jockey Jamie Torres was able to sit on the lead through a 49.25 half mile. And then, I thought, well, we're in trouble now because this is what happened in the Preakness. They couldn't catch Seize the Gray down the stretch. So as they round the turn, well, I had picked Stronghold to win the race. If you watched my preview video, I really felt good that Stronghold was going to find that form from Santa Anita again. And he made a bold play for the lead at the top of the stretch and I thought he was going to take over. But then Seize the Gray found another gear, being fit and ready, plenty of gas in the tank. He repelled that foe just like a Derrick Henry stiff arm, like he did against the Dallas Cowboys yesterday, running all over my team. So anyway, Seize the Gray digs in late, pulls away by 3 to 4 lengths easily. So that victory puts him right squarely back in the Breeders' Cup Classic competition. It was a really good race. I thought Stronghold had a good showing as well. And so you're going to be getting this video very soon where I put together, I spent almost all weekend here and there trying to get together a top 10 list for the Breeders' Cup Classic, and it was really not as easy as it looked. I didn't want to go cheating, looking back and forth at other people's rankings and seeing where they had them, but I did anyway. Just full disclosure, just to get an idea on which horses. I had an idea on the horses that I wanted in there, and I put them in the order that I saw fit. So I don't think my list is like anybody else's, but it made it easier because I was still missing one. Seize the Gray gets the win. So Seize the Gray goes into the list. So you will see that probably tomorrow. So I thank you for joining me today. Don't forget, subscribe to the channel, smash that like button, share on social media, Billy Host Sports. Let's grow this channel. We're getting ready for Breeders' Cup here in less than 2 months. So until next time, we'll see you soon.